Jason, as it is each and every week, the Lee Summit Town Hall podcast is brought to the good people by Budget Blinds of Lee Summit.
Budget Blinds!
Hey, on behalf of Budget Blinds, I want to give a big Lee Summit Town Hall thank you.
Thank you.
To everyone who helped support Lee Summit Social Services through Budget Blinds Pictures with Santa event and for the annual 12-ish bars of Christmas pub crawl. The Budget Blinds team works very hard for these two big events, and both were, Jason, huge successes.
And we just want to note that your support of our robot shade overlords will be noted and appreciated in the future.
Hey, and Jason, remember, automated shades provide a safer environment for children and pets due to their cordless nature. Also, their programmable features, they allow you to use heating or cooling only when you need it to achieve maximum energy efficiency.
All hail.
So go visit our friends at Budget Blinds of Lee Summit. Tell them Jason and Nick sent you.
Hello again, and welcome to Lee Summit Town Hall, a weekly podcast about what you can do to make a difference. I'm Jason Norbury, and as always, I am joined by a man who decked his halls with boughs of smoked chicken.
Yeah, I did.
It's Nick Parker, the publisher of Link to Lee Summit.
I did. I got up at about 5 o'clock this morning, fired up the smoker, and then loaded it up with chicken because we had a Bridge Space holiday party today.
Always good to have the holiday party, and always good to have the smoked chicken. I gotta say, when I walked in late this afternoon, the building still smelled of all of the food. I'm assuming including the smoked chicken that was there, though there was no food left for me to eat that was laying out on the counter. It's a little disappointing, but it's okay.
Mostly because we don't like you.
Well, this is not unclear. All right, Link to Lee Summit is the source for all the news you need about our very fine city, and our unofficial sponsor today is Pinterest, to whom I owe some thanks for giving me a last-minute gift idea so you can pin that.
Wow, look at you go.
I know. Occasionally, I think, honestly, this is what we learn again, is this is yet another grounds in which my wife is correct. And she says, you should go to Pinterest. And I'm like, I don't want Pinterest. And
yeah,
there I am.
I was the same way. It took me a while to get there.
And then I needed some inspiration. So I went and I ended up on Pinterest and bang, found that out. So, honey, as usual, though I hate to admit it, you're right.
You said you were looking for last-minute ideas. I'm assuming that has to be with holiday time. So I'm going to use that as my segue because I want to talk about holiday stuff.
All right, let's talk about holiday
Christmas stuff. I want to give a big warning. Big warning to the people of the White Ridge Farm subdivision.
We're coming to get you.
Watch out. The Lee Summit Town Hall team is coming. We are coming out there to judge you and your holiday lights. Okay, just your holiday lights. We're probably not going to judge you.
I mean, it depends on your holiday lights. And if you don't have any holiday lights up, we might do a little judging of that. But, in general, if you have holiday lights up, we're going to be looking at them, and we're going to pick out some winners to support their little contest that they've gone, and they've been kind enough to invite us in. So get your lights ready. We're on our way to you.
We're even going to attempt to bring a couple cameras out, maybe take a little video, little pictures. We'll put that up on the Lee Summit site. We'll have a little fun. I look forward to holiday lights, Jason.
I do too.
Hey, another thing coming up, Shreducation.
Shreducation.
Special Shreducation event put together by our friends over at Shred. This is a live event on Thursday at Bridge Space. Special guest, Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal Les Norman.
And teller of really good stories.
That's very true.
So, and all proceeds, you make donation at the door. All proceeds go to local charities. It's an event that Shred is putting on to not only give people some information, a little inspiration, and maybe maintain that healthy lifestyle and make those good choices through the difficult holiday season, but also give a little back to the community at large. So it's a good deal on them. So come Thursday night.
I'm going to give a little sneak peek. We're going to talk a lot about mindset and a lot about habits, forming good habits.
I think I mostly have done form bad habits at this point in my life, to be honest. I think if I could just destructure some of those, I might be in better shape as a whole. So, all right. So once again, holiday season is in gear. People are looking for opportunities to give back and help members of our community in need. And we have been sharing and will continue to share through the remainder of the holiday season some opportunities in our community. And this week's opportunity is One Good Meal.
One Good Meal. They are looking for drivers to help deliver meals to area seniors in need. And if you would like to offer your time behind the wheel, or maybe you just want to make a monetary donation, because sometimes, Jason, They'll take any help they can get, and it's as easy as giving a little money. Go visit them, onegoodmeal.org.
And they will work with you. We've had Roberta on, and we've talked to them over the years, and they, anything you can do to
time
help.
We invite her back.
I believe it is. We haven't had a good get off your pocket story in quite a while, so not a bad idea to.
Nice way to bring that back from our 6th episode.
That was like almost 3 years ago. So there was some things I remember. I'll forget like what I have to buy at the grocery store, but I'm going to remember something Roberta said 3 years ago.
I want to dig into a couple. There's only a couple things, Jason, that I want to hit that are actually kind of newsy.
Things are kind of like winding down for the holiday.
Right. I want to apologize though. I feel like I'm off my game a little bit, and I think it's because, a couple weeks ago I moved to these standing desks, and so now we're on these high stools that we're sitting on today, and I just want to spin. So if you're watching on the video on the YouTubes, you can just see me kind of moving this whole time.
I think you add a level of visual interest that every podcast needs. Honestly.
Anyway, I feel a little restless going on here. Hey, let's talk a little bit about something that is at last night's city council meeting. Jason, the downtown apartment complex, that project is moving forward.
Right. So last night there was up for approval an ordinance approving the redevelopment contract and lease agreement between the City of Lee Summit and DTLS Apartments LLC to implement the Second and Douglas Tax Increment Financing Plan and the Second and Douglas LCRA redevelopment plan, which we've covered those things before. They're doing the TIF financing as well as the Land Clearance Redevelopment Act thing to get all of the, as well as I believe some Chapter 100 industrial bonds, all those bits and pieces to get their financing in order. This was first read by council last week. It passed unanimous. So I don't think there's any controversy that'll come about whether there's going to be any change on the vote on that going forward.
Right. So, I think the only reason really to bring it up is just because people keep asking and they want to know, hey, when are things going to start? When are we going to start to see activity happening on this project? Well, here we go. Here's just one little thing. It often takes a lot of time before we see work being done. And hey, before they even start going vertical, we're going to have to watch them tear it down.
Right. You got all that. And a lot of this you've got, not only do you have the things to deal with the city, but then you've got the actual private financing part of it, the actual bank loans and all the other bits and pieces that go along with that. And those eventually have to sync up, and it just takes time. Sometimes it takes a lot of time. Sometimes it gets together relatively quickly. This is kind of in the middle, but it is ongoing. So I think given this, I think we can expect to see a little demo probably in the first part of 2020 somewhere, and we'll see where we go from there.
And like everybody else, I'm excited about it.
Me too.
I'm excited to see
I'm not looking
happen.
for an apartment, but I'm excited to have the development.
The last thing I want to bring up, let's shift from city council and let's go over to the Lee Summit R7 school district.
Oh, God, what have they done this time?
Nothing.
Oh, good.
Nothing. I want to use this as an opportunity to encourage people to go participate, to show up, to listen, and maybe if you get a chance, ask a few questions. Coming up, 5 o'clock tonight over at the Stansberry Leadership Center over by Lee Summit North High School, there's going to be a work session. It's a joint work session between the R7 School Board and the Citizen Advisory Committee.
That is right. So they're going to talk about details on the bond projects, financials, recommendations, take questions, go through all that. So there's going to be a conversation there between not only our elected officials, but the citizen advisory. So it's an opportunity for people to go, give a little input, listen to hear what the things they're thinking about, what they've heard from their feedback, how that feedback is fed into everything. And hopefully, you'll get a little information. And I would assume that will probably, those recommendations will probably be forth either in the December or January full R7 board for an actual vote to push forward. So this is something that, it's not early but it's kind of later in the process, but it's worth going to and giving a little input on.
Well, and I think the more opportunities you take advantage of to be in the know is really going to help when it comes time to vote, because all this is going to lead up to a bond question on more than likely an April ballot.
Right, absolutely. So that's when the school board has to do their thing. So that is the time frame that we'll be dealing with that. And I think that bond and what's on it will not only be a question that the people at Lee Summit have to answer, but also people who are going to be interested in running for the school board. That's a question that we're going to talk about. There's bound to be some disagreement, maybe a little friction here and there on what that's supposed to look like. And we'll see where it goes from there. So this is something that's going to be not only sort of in the short-term future for the R7 school board, but it's going to be for the next 5 months until we get to that election. We're going to be looking at it.
Hey, I saw our neighbors to the north. They announced their next superintendent, as their current superintendent is retiring.
That is true.
So something else to keep an eye on,
Superintendent-elect, if I recall that, yes.
Superintendent search is still going on at the R7 school district. So, in the coming weeks, we're going to check in on that and kind of see where we're at. Jason, officially today, we're 2 weeks away from Christmas. And I don't know about you, but I'm not quite there yet. I don't know that I'm in the spirit yet.
On that 0 to 100% ready for Christmas scale, where are you?
I might be close to 50, 55.
Yeah. See, I'm still but I tend to hold I tend to push my Christmas off until the last minute. I do a little tending to the bah humbug about the Christmas sometimes. So a lot of what I try to soak in reflected joy, like that the kids and the family have about Christmas. That's where I try to get my joy out of it. But I'm probably more in the 20-25% range ready for Christmas.
The reason I brought it up is I was just curious. What do you look forward to? What's the thing that you look forward to Christmas time? The holiday season. What is that one thing that you just kind of latch onto? What pushes you up to that scale?
It's watching, it used to very much be watching the kids now my kids are getting a little older, I get a little bit of that teenager action going on now. I don't care about anything, but
angst comes with the gifts.
Yeah, all that good stuff and working through that. But, still enjoy watching them kind of work through the new parts of Christmas. They get a little bit more responsibility for giving gifts and doing those sorts of things. And then, honestly, I really love I always try to kind of close it down, get stay home a lot, be kind of very internal family oriented during especially that week around Christmas time. And I really like that. And mostly what I'm saying is I don't like other people, and I like the time when I don't get to be around other people. But no, I like that. So I read a lot, and I get to we have a lot of family time, and that's the part of it that I enjoy the most.
I brought it up. We talked a little bit about this off air before I clicked record. And as cynical as you and I maybe come off sometimes on this show, I'm a sucker for Christmas music. I am a sucker for the Christmas music.
Your family likes the Christmas time. You do a lot of the decorating. You do the music. You guys.
Well, it's true. Mrs. Link to Lee Summit. We have many, many, many Santa Clauses that come out every year, and so we call it the March of the Santas when we decorate. We decorated early this year because of the crazy schedules. So I think it was right after Halloween, actually. We had a free Saturday, and we just took advantage, and we put it all up. The tree's been up. It's fun. My mother taught me long ago one of the greatest, the most magical Christmas things you can do. And especially if you have a real tree, a fresh tree, not the artificial, is after you get the lights on, it's decorated, grab your kids, lay down underneath, and just stare up the lights. It is a magical moment.
Very, very cool. Yeah, this year actually we had to we did not put up our big Christmas tree because this year we are fostering kittens, and we made the decision that maybe a big a 6 or 7 foot tall Christmas tree and climbing kittens wasn't the best combination for our living room. So we have a very small Christmas tree up in the corner, up on a shelf for everything. But it's because. I will say that I think the kittens just have a little bit too much Christmas spirit. They get a little too excited about that tree, and mayhem would be the result.
All right, last thing. Favorite local holiday tradition? What do you go see some lights? Is there a Christmas show? Is there something local? What do you love about Lee Summit during the holidays?
I dig the Longview lights. Even though you have to sit in that line for forever to just get to the main event of the lights themselves. I do enjoy that. It's kind of almost a sort of a bonding experience through the torment of having to be in the car that long. That the family's there, we're watching the lights, we're doing that sort of thing. I dig that. Those are the kinds of things that push me in that. And then it gets into the baking and the shuffling around right before. Once again, like I said, that's the home stuff, and that's really what the Christmas is, the good stuff for me.
I've already said I love the lights. So the Longview lights, I love the tree lighting night downtown, because really our downtown district looks its absolute best when all the lights are on.
Absolutely.
And it's turned on. And then a little home thing. I'm gonna be like you. I love the cooking. So we do a big party on Christmas Eve for family, and it's the one time of year I get to just go nuts in the kitchen and just make something awesome and big and huge, and it's fun. That's it. I'm looking forward to Christmas.
I am too. Now you got me all excited for our traditional Christmas meal of pozole and tamales. So that's a little habit we picked up in New Mexico, and we've carried on and broadened into our
hopefully
growing
I
family.
have ratcheted up from maybe 20 to 30 for you on the scale.
I feel like the needle is moving towards
There we go. Hey, that's going to wrap us up for this week. We'll talk to everybody on Friday.
All hail.
You have been listening to Lee Summit Town Hall, a Link to Lee Summit podcast with hosts Nick Parker and Jason Norberry. A proud member of the Fredcast Network, you can subscribe to this podcast on most of your favorite podcast apps and catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for all the news, analysis, and conversations on the Lee Summit community. Connect with us on Facebook at Link to Lee Summit or on Twitter at LS Town Hall.